Some I prepared earlier.
Okay.
Let's kick off with an easy one.
How do I target or customise my application to make it successful?
Well, it is important that you do target it, and my advice would be to read the position description in detail.
I think rather than an applicant send just their general response, they need to be looking at selection criteria.
I think it's really important that you understand what the role is that you're applying for and try to understand it from the perspective of the employer.
Read what they're asking for.
Doing some research, I guess, in terms of the bigger picture of what you are applying for is always a good way to get some context and to target it to the specific role.
I think do your research.
What does the organisation stand for and what are the selection criteria that need to be addressed?
What is the most important part of an application?
I think it's really important that your application answers the question.
Please check your spelling and grammar.
For me, the layout, that will make me read it.
It's the selection criteria and how they respond to the selection criteria, so make sure that you really use specific examples.
If you don't address the selection criteria, you're not even going to get a look in.
Present your experiences from your perspective, so demonstrate it.
And don't overtype an old application and leave material in there that's not reasonable for the job you're applying for.
The best applications provide all of the information that you're asking for and not too much more.
As a hiring manager, how long do you actually spend on looking at one particular candidate's resume?
Not long, not long at all. In fact, I would probably even say 60 seconds or less.
I would honestly spend less than a minute.
Reading it, about 10 seconds.
If there's hundreds, probably cull them very quickly and spend no more than a minute or two. If there's only a dozen, I'm usually pretty thorough and look for things in there.
It really depends on the job. It can vary quite a lot.
If we've got a role that has had fewer applicants, then I can spend a bit longer on a resume.
What does a successful application include?
For me, a successful application is one that has a resume that's easy to read, that has a nice layout.
Selection criteria being responded to.
You address the selection criteria with real-life examples.
It's there for a reason, please address it.
Absolutely address the job role criteria. That's a number one.
You provide a good, succinct summary of yourself.
Probably 50% of the applications I get don't even address the selection criteria, so they're automatically out.
Follow the instructions.
What they will bring to the role.
Targeted, personalised cover letter.
Read over it again yourself and get someone else to read over it, and really making sure you've touched on all of those points that the employer is looking for.